Hare Krishna. Hare Bol. Right. So let's get started. Welcome everyone.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Avni. Thank you so much for being there. Let's get started for the second session of Ramayana. Let's do the opening prayers.
ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुमिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपं कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम् वन्देऽहं
नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय
भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त
नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी
प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी
पाश्चात्य
देशतारिणे।
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर
श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद।
हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण कृष्ण
हरे हरे
हरे राम
हरे राम 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 हरे
हरे Krishna everyone. Thank you for your presence. Let's get started. We are here doing 3 days of Valmiki's Ramayana, and yesterday we did the very first two, Balkand and Ayodhya Kand. Today we will try to get further, and we will see tomorrow we will conclude with the lessons learned, and we have some more stories to go by, and Ramayana is full of stories. Right, so I will quickly skim through. We were here in Aranyakand. So just to remind everyone, so Balkand, until Lord Ram got married, and as soon as Lord Ram got married, Lord Ram went back to Ayodhya, and whatever happens in Ayodhya, right at the end, Lord Ram had to leave Ayodhya because of the boon which Kekai, his stepmother, got from his father, from Lord Ram's father. And that was the reason Lord Ram and then his wife Mother Sita and his younger brother Lakshman, all three going towards forest. And this is the time when they are getting to the forest. So it says that Rama makes a tour through the ashrams. So there were so many different places where all three of them making their path on the way to the forest, and they were looking for a place where they're going to stay for long, and then later we will see they reach to a place. But meanwhile they meet a lot of demons, like there's a mention of Virada. He was one of the demon they met on the way, and they did not, it's one of those things that why Lord Rama could have taken care of all them in, even when he was there in the spiritual world, but Lord Ram wanted to come along to take all these demons back to Godhead, and that was the reason, and that was the reason Krishna did similar thing next Yuga, when Dwapar Yuga he came along, and in Treta when Lord Rama was there. Then there's a mention of many other rishis. Sutikshana was another rishi where Mother Sita had a conversation. They stayed there with them, like they stayed with Bharadwaj Muni as well. They stayed with other rishis. Rishis, they really, really helped them. They gave them the insights, because Lord Rama was a prince. He was about to be crowned as a king. He did not know much about the forest. But these munis, these rishis, these sages, these hermits, they spent all their life. And that's why when Lord Rama was moving around, he met all these, and they gave him so crucial knowledge to stay, where to stay, what to eat. All that knowledge was given by these rishis. And then going forward, Agatse Muni. He was also there. Again, if you think of Vashishta, Vishwamitra, and then Agastya Muni. These munis, they are part of Saptarishi. Now, Saptarishi also is a placeholder, and they keep changing, but these are have been nominated as Saptarishis. Agastya Muni was another rishi who gave many boons to Lord Rama, saying that, okay, I'm going to give you this bow and arrow. This bow and arrow, arrows will never finish. So again, Lord Rama didn't need so many boons, but when you meet others, then these they knew that he is the Lord, but they wanted to give. They wanted to give. Same thing when we at home, whenever we want to heave prasadam, we first offer to Krishna. Now Krishna didn't need it, but it's us. We have the feeling that we would like to offer to Krishna. And the same thing here. Now, Lord Rama didn't need all that, but all the saints, they were so happy. They were filled with this solace, with meeting the Lord, that they wanted to give. So that was the reason all of them, well, whichever saint they met, they gave them. Even if it was just as an advice, but they always wanted to give. And this is the real true nature of the pure devotee, that they always want to give. Now there's a mention further when the winter started. Now winter started, think of a place like a forest. Winter was hard. Right after, well, let's say during the springtime, Surpnakha came along, and Surpnakha is very famous. Well, in India, there is a place called Nagpur. Nag, Nag in Hindi is nose. Pur is a place where these things happen. Now, Surpnakha was one of those who she was a demon. She was the younger sister of demon Raman. And she wanted to, when she saw Lord Ram, she wanted to marry Rama. But Ram said, well, I'm already married and I have taken the vow. I'm not going to marry to anyone else, because those days kings could have if they wanted to. But Ram said, no, I don't want to. But Supnaka said, okay, if not you, your younger brother is good enough, Lakshman. How about if I marry him? And Ram said, well, you ask him. If he's happy, then no worries. But Ram said, well, I'm married as well, and you can ask Sita. So Ram said that you can look at the Sita. She's my wife. Lakshman said, you can ask Sita. So she thought that Sita is the main hurdle in between. So she said, okay, I'm going to kill Sita. And just while she was thinking of that, she approached Sita with the bad intentions. Lakshman came in between, and Lakshman, because Surpnakha was a female, Lakshman cut the nose. And it says the where the nose fell away in India, that place is called Nagpur. Nagpur, because the nose fell there. Now, moving away, Supnakha obviously didn't die. She went back, and she had many brothers. Ravan was one of them. But before Ravan, there was another brother called Khar. There was Khar Dushan. Those two brothers used to be, they were actually step brothers of Ravan and Supnakha. But so she went to them first, and then Khar Dushan, they got very upset. They came along. At first, they sent their generals, their ministers, to kill Ram and Lakshman. Obviously, they could not. They died. And there were millions of them. There were millions of demons who came along in the military army. But Rama killed, just alone, Rama killed himself, everyone. Then Khar Dushan, they both of them, they came. First Khar was killed, and then Dushan was killed. Then there was another demon, Trisuras. He had three heads, and he was a Gandharva in past. He had a curse. So a lot of those similar thing what we have seen in the past times of Krishna, that these demons, they have taken the form of demons, but in the past they could have been the devotees, they could have been Gandharvas, they might be listening to the kathas, but for some reason they fell down and they have taken the birth as a demon now. And this is the reason Lord Rama was there in the forest to take all these back. And he surrendered. He destroyed all of them, but they were very happy. A duel between Rama and Kar, Dushan, Trisaras, they all died just by the hands of Lord Rama, which was really, really, really good for them. Now, Ravan heard the news that my sister got bad. She lost the nose, and my brothers got well, they died, and he was furious. So he said, "Oh, what am I gonna do?" And then Surpanakha wanted to take the revenge, and that's why she gave a very fatal advice. She said to Ravana that you should take away Sita. And then again, we have seen in yesterday, the first session, the importance of good association and what could a bad association do. When Mantra gave the bad advice to Kekai again and again and again and again. So it doesn't matter how good we are, until unless we change the association, we cannot live with the bad association for long. Bad association going to affect us sooner or later. So the same thing happened. Supnaka gave wrong advice to Raman. Remember, Ravan was a demon, but Ravan was also a Brahmin, because Ravan's father was a Brahmin and Ravan's mother was a demon. So he had the both traits in him. So he could act as a Brahmin, which he did number of times, and he could act as a demon, who whichever side will get fueled. And Surpanakha did that. So Ravan went to Maricha. Maricha was another, you could call, demon. He could change his form and shape. And he said to Maricha, "You go and you become the golden deer, and you go there, you take away Ram, Lakshman, and I will kidnap Sita." He made the whole plan. Maricha said that, "No, I don't want to do that, because I know Lord Rama is the supreme. I'm not going to do that." And Ravan said, "I'm going to kill you. Right? If you will not do it, I'm going to kill you." And then Maricha thought that rather than dying from the hands of Ravan, who is a demon, I should die by the hands of Lord Rama. And that's what he did. That was the only reason he decided to go and take part in that. Now, going further, as we know, that Maricha came along as a golden deer, and Sita said, "Oh, I want that, I want that." This is another lesson we can learn from Ramayana, that whenever it's not what we want, it's what we need, right? Sita said, obviously, this was a Leela. Mother Sita said that, "I want this, I need it." She didn't. But Rama went there, then Lakshman was behind, then Lakshman left Sita because Sita requested Lakshman to go and get Rama. And that time, Lakshman put a line there saying that this is Lakshman Rekha, like don't cross it. If you will, and as long as you are within that circle, you're protected. And then Ravan came in the form of a priest, a sadhu, a saint. And then he could not enter into that circle, which was the protection given by Lakshman. But then that Ravan requested Sita to come out of it. And Sita shouldn't have done it. And this is another thing, when we get the good advice from someone, we should not go against it, right? As children, when we listen to parents give us so many advices, we should listen to them. Sita didn't listen to the advice of Lakshman, and she stepped out of that circle. As soon as she did, Ravan came into his own form. He was so strong. He was a demon, powerful demon. He abducted Sita. And now there's a mention that so Ravan has this chariot which could fly, right? While this was happening, now there's a bird called Jatayu. Jatayu was a big bird, big eagle, if you think of. And Jatayu wanted to save Sita, but Jatayu was very old. Jatayu was the friend of Lord Ram's father, Dashrath. So very first time when he heard that Dashrath passed away, he was very, very sad. But then he wanted to fight Ravan. And there's a mention that even though Ravan was very strong and Jatayu was old, but still Jatayu was very, very, very strong. But what happened there? Then they fought for a while and they could not kill each other. And His Holiness Bhakti Rasamrit Maharaj, when he did Ramayan Katha at Bhakti Vedant Manor, he gave this insight where he read it somewhere, that at that time, both of them, they said, "Okay, we cannot kill each other. The fight been going for that long. How about we tell each other that how we could, what's our weakness? How could we die? And then Jatayu, being very honest, he said, well, my power, because I'm a bird, my power is in my wings. So if you cut my wings, I could not do it much. And Ravan said, Ravan lied there. Ravan had the nectar in the belly button, but he said, my power is in my toes. Now, as soon as Jatayu heard that his power is in his toes, he stepped forward towards the toes, and that was the time Ravan, with his sword, cut his wing, and that's why Jatayu fell down. And later on, when Sita was gone to Lanka, so Lord Rama couldn't find Rama, Lakshman. They went around everywhere in the forest. They could not. And there's a mention how Lord Rama was lamenting for Sita. He was so mad. He started asking again. Think of it. He is there as an ideal husband. That's the role he's portraying at the moment, right? So it's not that a lot of time people ask that, well, Lord Rama, how can he be Lord if he was crying for his wife? But he was playing the role of the ideal husband. And if the wife is gone, then of course the husband is going to cry. But then Rama and Lakshman, while they were looking around, they were consoling each other. They met Jatayu, and this is a very very good example to remember is that now if you think about it, Jatayu could not save Jatayu could not save Sita, but still when Rama came, Rama thanked him and he was delivered, like he went back to Godhead, because Rama himself did the last rites and rituals of Jatayu. So even though if materially somebody might ask that Jatayu was a failure, Jatayu was a failure. He could not save Mother Sita. But in devotional life, in devotional service, it's not what you have achieved. It's the dedication, what the intentions, what you have done, right? So it doesn't matter what we achieve in the service. It's the pure intentions to serve Lord, what we do. If we have pure intentions and we do little, that counts. And if we don't have good intentions, we do a lot, maybe because we want everybody to hear good things about us, that doesn't count. So it's not what we achieve in devotional service, it's what we do, right? And that's the example of Jatayu. Now Jatayu was helped. Then there's another mention of Kabanda. Then Kabanda was another demon. As soon as Lord Rama moved away, if you can see the screen, this was like a torso, like there was no head on this. And this is another example where Gandharva was a Gandharv, and he was like a demigod. He was cursed, and because of his curse he had to take birth like this demon. But the good thing was that he came along and he got delivered by Lord Rama, right? So there are so many demons mentioned there, and again we are just going briefly. One good thing he did, he gave the address of Sugriva. So he said, if you're looking for your wife, you could not find, there's only one person pious enough to help you. He's the monkey king, Sugriv. You go and seek the help of Sugriv. And then he was gone. Now, Aranyakand, the last bit where Kanda was, so everything about his past was mentioned. It's very, very, very clearly is defined there. Now, we have heard about Shabri. Shabri, so she was there in the ashram. And again, while Lord Rama looking for Sita ji, going around, and Shabri was waiting there, right? Okay, as soon as we will complete this, we have the poll ready. Now, what Shabri was waiting for. Shabri was waiting for so long. And one unique thing we always remember about Shabri, that Shabri wanted to give only the delicious fruits, delicious berries to Lord Rama. And that's why she used to taste those berries. Now, we will never do it. Like when we offer to Krishna, then we make sure our hands are washed. We are not wearing slippers. We are very clean, right? Well, remember, Shabri used to bite. So half-bitten berries were there, which she used to give to Lord Rama, just because she didn't want to give the sour. She wanted to give sweet berries. Now, Rama accepted that. Why? Again, it's not what you do, it's the pure intentions behind devotional service. So we should always remember that the relationship we have between us and Krishna is very, very, very personal. We should have personal relationship with Krishna. Our intentions should be free. Okay, and that's where we finish this. Kishkinda is a place where, as it says, the empire of holy monkeys. So Lord Rama and Lakshman got the advice, the address of Sugriva, and that's where they're gonna go, right? And we will start that. But before that, Mataji, could you please do the honors and release the poll? If you could hear me, Haripriya Mataji. Okay, I cannot hear you here, but I can hear you otherwise. I think you said you are doing it, which is great. So once the poll is launched, please let me know. Otherwise,
Yeah, it's launched now.
it's launched now. Okay. Haribo. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna. So I guess the poll is done. We could, if you want, we could share the results with everyone, so we could see everybody got the correct answers, and then we move further. Haribo. So now we are there in Kishkinda. Now remember, at the time of the birth of Lord Rama, we said
Hare
that
Krishna, Prabhu, sorry.
Hare
Do you
Krishna.
want me to end the poll now?
Please, yes, yeah. If you have shared the results, we could please
Yeah.
end it. All
Yeah,
right.
I'm sharing the results now.
Okay, great.
So I don't think so you can see it.
No, I'm the host, so I can't really see that.
Okay. So the first question was, where did Ram, Sita and Lakshman stayed? He stayed in Panchavati. Okay, so
Yes.
we've got forest and Chitrakoot as the answers. Chitrakoot was when they met Bharata. Who was Supranakha? She was, yes, she was not a demigod, she was the demon and the sister of Ravana. And who were the demons killed in the forest? All three are correct. So everybody got that. Who did Marish disguise as? Yes, it's deer. Who was Jatayu? He was the friend of Dashratha and eventually became the friend of Rama. He was the friend of Dashratha. Who was Shabri? Yes, she was a devotee of Rama. So thank you so much. I shall meet you in the next poll.
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you so much. Yes, the way we said it. So Jatayu was the friend of Dashrath, who was the father of Lord Rama. When Dashrath passed away, Lord Rama was away. He could not do the final rites and rituals for Dashrath, but he did for Jatayu. So sometimes that's what happened. Even though Dashrath had Rama as his son, but he did not have that final rites, which is supposed to be very important. He could not have that. But Jatayu was living in the jungle, in the forest, and he could get that blessings from Lord Rama. So Krishna works in mysterious ways. Now, moving away, this was probably where Krishkinder Kand, where all the monkeys come along. Remember, we said in the beginning that when Lord Rama was getting born, Vishnu said, "Okay, I'm going to take the form of the Kshatriya king." Then all the demigods said, "Oh, we want to take part in your Leela as well," and they all came down as vanaras, as monkeys, and they are the ones who going to help and associate with Lord Rama now. So what happens then? Sugriva. So Sugriva, when Sugriva because Sugriva was hidden away on a mountain where Bali, his brother, could not come because he was cursed not to come there. And that's the reason Sugriva was hiding there. Because Sugriva and Bali, they were very close. Well, they were brothers and they were very close to each other. But for some misunderstanding, so they had a big fight. So Bali, who was the elder brother, asked Sugriva to leave, and Sugriva was hidden there. Otherwise, Bali wanted to kill him. So Sugriva was there. Sugriva was a very pious person, and Bali was very strong. Bali was much, much stronger than Ravana. And this is another reason we will see when Rama came, Rama did not see that Bali and Sugriv, both brothers, I should take help from Bali. He did not, because Bali was not pious. Bali had taken the wives of his brother Sugriva. So even though if Lord Ram really wanted his wife back, he should have gone to Vali, saying Vali could easily kill Ravan because he had captured Ravan before. But he said, no, he's not pious. So it doesn't matter in our life when we have the opportunity to decide to go left or right, and we might think the right is easier option for us. We should always think of pious and non-pious. We should always take the right decision rather than the easy decision. We should always take the right decision based on the wisdom from the Shastras. And that's where, so Sugriva saw these two brothers coming. He didn't know who they are, right? So what he did, he sent Hanumanji. He said, you go and do the test, find out who they are. And then Hanumanji came in the form of a priest, a sadhu, and he figured out, and then he found that, you are Lord Rama, I've been waiting for you, Lord Rama. And then he took back to Sugriva, and then Sugriva and Lord Rama, they became friends. They took the vow to each other that Ram said, I will get your kingdom back from Bali. I will kill Bali and I will get your wife and your kingdom back. And same thing, Sugriva said, as soon as I get my kingdom, I will come and I will help you to find Mother Sita. So what happens that Rama comes along, and there was a test which Sugriv asked Lord Rama to do few things just to get that trust on Rama that he can kill Bali, because Bali was very, very, very strong. So Rama did. There were many things he had to do. He had to put down 7 trees with 1 arrow. There was one big carcage of a big demon which he had to push away. But then right at the end, he was very happy. Sugriva said, okay, Lord Ram, let's go. And now Sugriva and Bali, they were identical. So it was very hard to see. So what happened? First time, Bali also had a boon given by Brahmaji that whoever will come at the front of me, I will get half of his powers. So that was another reason Bali was undefeated by anyone. Imagine you had so much power. As soon as you will go at the front of Bali, Bali will get your power, half of your power. So that's why Lord Rama was advised by Sugriva that you go in hiding. You hide behind the bush. I will go and fight and then you kill. So again, this was not something Lord Rama would have done. But again, there are many reasons given why it was wise for Rama to kill Vali even in hiding. So again, we won't go into that detail. But what happens right at the end that Rama killed Vali. Now, when Vali got killed, Vali's wife was Tara. Tara advised Vali that Sugriva came back. He didn't have power to come back. Why he came back? Because he came back now. You should think. You should really, really think. There might be somebody helping. But Vali was so full of false pride. He said, okay, no worries. Whoever will come. So that's another lesson to learn, that we should think. We should not be in false ego. That, oh, I defeated this person before, I can kill him again. No, or I can defeat him again. No, he should have listened to his wife Tara. But what happens? Rama kills Wali. Now Wali dies and his wife Tara is repenting. Then what happens? Hanumanji gives console to his wife that, see, he's killed by Lord Rama, you should not cry. And then another lesson there, that doesn't matter what happens, if it happens by the sanction of Lord, we should always be happy. COVID is there, a lot of people, they are losing their life, a lot of people, they are losing their relatives. We should always think of that, that if it happens with the sanction of the Lord, there must be something good in that. And then Tara understood. But Sugriv was also very unhappy because right at the end, Sugriv, Wali was the brother of Sugriv. So Sugriv was also sad. But what happens? Lord Rama announced Sugriv as the king. Even though Bali gave his own son Angad, he said, okay, Lord Ram, I'm going away, but you take my son Angad in your service. And Sugriv was very happy to take Angad. He did not say, you are the son of my enemy. No, Sugriv was a pious person. Then we get monsoon season. 4 months of monsoon those days, even these days, but those days in particular when transport was very different. 4 months nobody goes out because it's heavy rain. And then Sugriv also came, and Lord Rama was also waiting. But right at the end of 4 months, Sugriv just forgot all about it. That Lord Ram promised Sugriv that I will get your wife back, I will get your kingdom back, I will kill Wali, which Lord Rama did. But Sugriv forgot that he promised that I will go. He enjoyed his 4 months of rainy season as a new king of Kishkinda was a place. But then Rama sent Lakshman. Rama sent Lakshman to go and remind, and Lakshman was very, very, very upset. He was almost about to kill Sugriva. But then Sugriva, Tara was there, Sugriva's wife Uma was there, they all, and then Hanumanji was also there. They all pacified Lakshman. And then Sugriva came around and Sugriva said, so sorry, I forgot all about it. Now I'm going to come. And then he gathered all his monkeys and he knew all the places there. Why? Because he used to run away from his brother. When Wali used to run after him, Sugriv was running around all over the place. So he knew all the places. Very quickly, what he did, he said, okay, 10 of my monkeys, you go in that direction. 10 of you, you go in that direction. And very soon he figured out that in which direction. So he sent everyone in east, west, north, south. He found out which direction he should go. And that's the time when he found out that he should really, really, really go across the river. And Jatayu anyways told, okay, Lord Rama, that the king of Lanka, Ravan, has taken your wife, right? So they knew that it might be towards that direction where they want to go. Now they found out that how they're going to go, what they're going to do. Nobody could cross the river. Nobody could cross that ocean towards Indian Ocean, towards Lanka. And that was the time when there was another demon called well, not the demon, my apologies, Sampaji. This is the brother, the elder brother of Jatayu. Now he was there. He when he heard the news that his brother Jatayu was killed by Ravan, he was furious. But because as you can see in the picture, he was one of those eagle who could see very far, and he was another one who gave that in which direction Ravan went. Those days we didn't have a compass that you could see which direction north is, which direction GPS will tell which direction Lanka is. No, but Sampati said, okay, my brother told you Ravan took it. I can tell you they went into that direction. So it was very clear for that in which direction they went through. Because Sampati was the elder brother. So he could see all that. And he was, I called it eagle. Even in eagle, he was a vulture. And one of the good thing about vulture, not only that they are strong, but they are very, very, very far-sighted. Now, so in Kishkinda, right, what's happening, that now they know where they want to go. And now the question arises, who gonna cross it? How they gonna go? Nobody could cross ocean. And then that was the time when somebody came along, and that's called Jambat. He was a minister of Sugriva, and he reminded Hanumanji that you don't remember how powerful you are. When you were a child, you could do all that. You could fly away, and you just forgot because you were cursed at the end that you will forget all these things. You should remember, go, go, you could fly. And as soon as Hanumanji's memories came back, he flew. He flew from South India to Lanka. And that's when this Kand finishes and the next one starts, where Hanumanji is going to fly away, and we will see what happens then. But I think it might be a good time to have a quick poll. Mataji, would you like to release the poll for Kishkinda Kand?
Yes, Prabhu.
Haribo. Thank you so much. And we will see, as you would see, most of the places I'm going very fast again because we know a lot of stories, a lot of demons were there, and we are not going into detail that how each and every demon got killed, what was the background of those, because we would like to get a full flow of Ramayana from A to Z, where we could see as a story what happens. Haribo. You did it. Okay. Mataji, I think most of the devotees might have done. If you like to end and then
Prabhu,
share.
I'm still waiting for some.
Okay, all right, sure. Arvin is quick. He just informed me that he has done it. And I know Avni has done it. Yeah. And I think Shivani is playing around. Shivani has done it. Okay, it's really, really, really good. Hare Krishna. Okay, great. Mataji, I think it might be a good time to end it
Okay,
and
Prabhu.
then share the results, please. Thank you. Haribo. Hare Krishna. All right. Who lived in Kishkinda? Sugriva used to live. Rama came along. Who was the brother of Sugriva? Bali. Now, some places you will see Bali, some places you will see Vali, V or B, like Brindaban or Vrindavan. Both of them are correct. The third one, who killed Bali? Now, Rama killed. Sugriva didn't. Sugriva was just fighting. Rama shot his arrow, and that arrow killed Bali. So, Lord Rama killed Bali. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Mataji, if you could. Oh, sorry. Oh, there's a few more. What was the name of Bali's son? Angad. Yes. Jatayu was the bird, Angad, who reminded Hanuman of his strength, Jambat. And what was who was Sampati? A bird, a big boar, well, a big bird, vulture, Sampati. Well, yeah. So great. Thank you. Haribo. Mataji, thank you so much for your help. If you could please end and we will continue further. So what happens in Sundarkand? Remember, Sundarkand is when Hanumanji got his powers back. Well, he always had powers, but he just forgot about it. So as soon as the remembrance was back, now he could fly away, and that's what he did. But while he was flying away, now like a king like Ravan, to save his Lanka, he had many demons in the waters. So anybody who is going to come towards Lanka, those demons going to stop. And this is what happened. This is what happened. And now what we say, guardian of Lanka. To save Lanka, there were many of those. And the very first one, where now there is a mention of a word, Pushpak. Pushpak was the name, or we call it Pushpak. Pushpak was the name of that chariot, the flying chariot of Ravan, and that was also visible. So that's what the Sampadi saw. And when Hanumanji was going further, he met this called Surasara. Now, Hanumanji was flying over the ocean to Lanka, which is now Sri Lanka, in search of Mother Sita. But when Hanumanji leaves from land, which is now India, a mountain, Maneka, appears in Hanuman's path. So a mountain just came up from the waters. And what happened then? And then Hanumanji thought, well, this is just a obstacle. So he was flying ahead. Remember, he was flying. Hanumanji was flying. But then that mountain converted, transformed into a fierce water serpent, and wanted to swallow Hanumanji. But when what Hanumanji did, Hanumanji changed his form and shape. Sometimes he became small, and then he was actually, he could, well, the serpent wanted to swallow him but could not swallow. So what happens? Obviously, at the end, Hanumanji killed him and then went further. But he was one of those Hanumanji met. Then Hanumanji was going further. There were many more demons which Hanumanji met. Now Hanumanji got many names, like Krishna got many names. Now Maruti is one name, and just based on his mother, based on his father, he got many names there. And we should always think when it says Maruti, so that's the name of Hanumanji. Now there was a female demon who came along there at that time, and so Hanumanji did not want to kill that female demon, but she was very big. And what she did, she, sorry, I said Maneka here. Sorry, this is Maneka. The previous was Surasara, and this is Maneka. Maneka was the name of this demon, and the previous one, the water serpent, was Surasara. I said it wrong. So Maneka wanted to. So she said, "No, you have to kill me." Or she actually said that I will have to eat you. You have to go in my mouth. If you won't, then I will die. I will have to give my life because that's the promise I have given to Ravan. And then Hanumanji did not want to fight or kill the female demon. So Hanumanji was increasing his size, big, big, big. And she started because she wanted to swallow Hanumanji. She increased her size, big, 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 opened a big mouth. And instantaneously, Hanumanji became very, very, very narrow. And because her mouth was wide open, Hanumanji became so small. Hanumanji went into the mouth and came back flying, as we can see in the picture. And that's how then Hanumanji came out, and Hanumanji said, "See, I don't want to fight with you, but you had the promise that whoever will go to Lanka will have to go through your mouth, which means that will die. But I went to your mouth, I came out alive. I hope you will let me go." And she did. She did. She did let Hanumanji go, and Hanumanji continued. While Hanumanji was going, now what Hanumanji is doing, Hanumanji is going further and further. Hanumanji reaches there. Now a lot of things happens there. It's a beautiful story where Hanumanji, how Hanumanji looking. Hanumanji never met Sita. If you think about it, Hanumanji is looking for someone. Hanumanji doesn't even know how she looks like. It was not that Lord Rama had uh, her
Prabhuji,
Haribo.
I have a question.
Shivani, yes, please go on.
Um, how did Hanumanji get out of the lady's mouth? If he was so tiny, he went in the mouth. So then, how did he get out?
Well, because that demon had mouth wide, wide, wide open. So Hanumanji was just like a fly. So she did not even realize that Hanumanji was there. And before she could close her mouth, just like a fly goes in, goes out. You know, when like we have the flies, the house flies, and we try to get hold of the house flies, but we can't because house flies are so fast, so small. And that's how Hanumanji went in the mouth, came out, and could not see. Thank you for the thumbs up. I guess you're happy. Good. Right. So a lot of detailed stories are there, the past times, how Lord Rama started looking for Mother Sita there. So she looked at Ravan's wife, but then he realized, well, she seems to be happy. Mother Sita cannot be very happy without Lord Rama, so she cannot be. Then Hanumanji went to Vibhishan's place, and then Vibhishan was there. Vibhishan was the only one who was praying to Lord Rama. And then he thought, wow, there is a devotee there. And this becomes very important later on when Vibhishan goes to Lord Rama's. So Hanumanji was the one who said, actually, he is very pious person. He was the only one who was praying to you, so you can trust him. But this time he saw Vibhishan's wife, and Vibhishan's wife was also there praying. But then he thought that no, this lady got husband, so which means this cannot be. This way he was going around looking for the female, thinking who could be. Then he went to a place where he saw somebody who was very pious, and she's weeping, and then he became a small, very small monkey. He was there on top of a tree, and then he heard Mother Sita, and Mother Sita was saying Rama, 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 and he realized. Then he dropped the ring which Ramji, Lord Rama, gave to Hanumanji. As soon as Mother Sita saw that, then Mother Sita said, "Wow, somebody from where this came?" And then Hanumanji came out of the tree. It's in very small form. And then Mother Sita said, "Who are you?" And then the conversation happened. And then Mother Sita was very happy. And Hanumanji said, "Come, I will take you." And then she said, "No, no, I cannot. Otherwise, I'm waiting for my husband. I cannot come along with you, because otherwise what the world will say, you know, that you came along, I waited for my husband needs to come and protect me, and a lot of times this what happens, we need to think who gonna help whom." Hanumanji said, "Okay, no worries, I will take your message back that you are here, and Lord Rama will come." And then Mother Sita was very happy. Then Hanumanji took the permission of Mother Sita that I've been flying for a while. I'm very hungry. If you won't mind, I will go around and eat something. Mother Sita said, "Go along, go, please." And then Hanumanji started eating things, and he was very, very, very happy because he's a monkey in a forest, monkey in a tree, monkey in the garden. He's always happy. And Hanumanji was just destroying everything. And then they found out that some a monkey is there. Somebody came from Lord Rama. We need to take care of Hanumanji. And then they got hold of Hanumanji. And that's this kand is called Sundar Kand. Sundar is beautiful, right? So that's why this citation of Hanumanji being there is very beautiful, very beautiful. The conversation between Mother Sita and Hanumanji is beautiful. The way Hanumanji dealt with all the demons. He did not have that enmity, jealous, enviness when he either killed or took care of those demons. And that's what another thing we all need to understand when we go for it. But right at the end, what happens that Hanumanji killed a lot of demons there, whoever came along to capture. But right at the end, Hanumanji's son came. Sorry, Ravan's son came, and Ravan's son attacked Hanumanji using Brahmastra, a, an arrow given by Brahmaji, and Hanumanji respected that. And then Hanumanji let himself tied in the rope, and he went at the front of Ravan. And then everybody said to Ravan that don't kill. This is just a monkey. But yes, to make him repent, you can fire his tail. And that was one of the worst thing you could do, because as soon as they did that, Hanumanji flew away from one house to another, and because he had fire in his tail, he burned almost all Lanka. All the houses in Lanka started. And again, at that time, Hanumanji being a monkey, right? He had a monkey mind. Once when he flew around, right at the end, he he got upset. He thought, "What? I burnt almost all Lanka. Did I burn Sita as well in it?" And this is there is a mention there that he just got curious, and then he thought, "Okay, no, I didn't go that side, so that's okay." But this is another thing. As a devotee, sometimes we get so devoted, but then later on we realize that we did something we were not supposed to do. So we should always be cautious, even though we are doing it. So Hanumanji was a bit angry while he was doing it, but it didn't take him long to control himself and to realize what he was doing, right? And this is where, if we see the last slide on Sundarkand, and then we will have a quick poll on it. This is where Hanumanji comes back and he brings the message, he got the suggestions. And when Hanumanji comes back, now Lord Rama knows that Mother Sita is there with Ravana. Ravana is not going to release Mother Sita. There's only one option, which is to have a fight, to have what we call a battle in Hindi or in Sanskrit, yudh. So this next one is called Yuddha Kand or Lanka Kand, because this is going to happen in Lanka. So now Lord Ram is going to go in that direction. Book of War. But before we go any further, if we have time, but we do have a time for poll. Mataji, could you please release the poll for Sundarkand, please? Hare Krishna. Okay. Mataji, you're on mute.
Yes, Prabhu, it's been launched.
Hari Bol. Thank you so much. And I must appreciate I'm going very fast. But again, the main things, if you think within 2 hours or tomorrow 3 hours, we will cover the whole Ramayana, almost whole Ramayana, picking, cherry picking, hand picking, few of the most important incidents to finish off where we left. Okay, and what we're going to do tomorrow is we will deal with Yuddhakand, and we will also do the lessons we can learn. We have been discussing that in between anyways, but we are going to do the 10 lessons we can take. Well, there are so many lessons, but for our conversation, we can restrict it to 10, or we'll see as many as we could. And then the 10 heads of Ravana, what do they resemble? Because it's very important. Remember, the whole idea reading the scripture is that we get purified. So when I deliver these courses, the whole aim is that I get purified. When you listen, you take part in these polls, hopefully you are getting a bit purification as well. Listening to Lord Rama's, listening to the devotees like Hanumanji, who was fully surrendered. He is one of the epitome, the example of the surrenderance to Lord Rama. It says, even if Haribo. Okay. Mataji, could you please confirm the poll has been submitted? Oh, right. Okay. Thank you, Avni. So I guess the poll is done. If in case you could end the poll and please share the results with everyone, that would be great. We have 6 minutes left. All right. Haribo. Thanks. So we got the results here. The very first question. Who did Hanumanji meet while crossing the ocean? Multiple choice. Okay, there were many. There were many. So Mountain Monica was right. Surasara was right. Surpnakha was not right. Surpnakha was not there. Surpnakha was there in the forest. Panchvati, where Surpnakha came along. Okay. What was Pushpak? Pushpak was a chariot. Great. Pushpak, Yan. Where was Sita prison? Ashok Vatika. Ah, she was in Lanka. She was not in Ashok. Oh, sorry, Ashok Vatika was there in Lanka. Okay, so yes, yeah. I hope, yeah, it is not multiple. So Ashok Vatika was correct. Great, Evo. And then the next one. What are the names of Hanumanji? Kesari, Anjali, Marut, Vaikunt. Now, I guess Vaikunt was not the correct answer. But Maruti, Anjani because of the mother, Kesri because of the father, and Maruti again from the heritage he came along. So the first three are the correct answers. Thank you. Who did Hanumanji meet first? Vibhishan, Raman, Meghnad. Okay, we have not. But yes, yeah, in the story, if you think about it, he goes along, he does meet Vibhishan. So that's correct. What did Hanumanji do in the Ashok Vatika? He started eating fruits. No, he did not. He destroyed the place. No, he did not. He killed everyone. No, he did not. Wow, he had to do everything. Yes, yeah, he started eating fruits. So that's right. Out of the from the given options, yes, yeah, he did not started destroying everything or killing everyone, but first he did eat fruits, and then when others came along disturbing him, remember It's like another quiz we were doing. Then there are many spiders, but spiders will not harm us until unless the humans will go away and disturb them. So Hanumanji will not do, or no devotee will harm anyone until unless somebody will come along. And similar thing Hanumanji did as well. So that was great. Who was Aksha, son of Ravana, son of Brahma, son of Ramana, son of Rama? What happened to Lanka, and why there are only three options? Okay, what happened to Lanka? Yes, engulfed in fire. That's right. Because of the, thank you, because of the fire in the tail of Hanumanji, the whole fire, and this is what we call Lanka. So the previous one is the is Sundarkand, because of mainly Hanumanji, because Hanumanji started it, Hanumanji ended it. Hanumanji came along with the message of Lord Rama and went back with the message of Mother Sita, and this is what happened. So right, welcome. So we just have a couple of minutes just to summarize what we did today. Now, remember, there are, and if I will go back, okay. So let's see if we can go back here. Okay, Haribol. So we have Valmiki's Ramayana, Balkand, Ayodhya Kand we did yesterday. Today we did forest, Arang Kand, the forest. What happens in the forest when Ravan came along and all the demons came along, Supnaka came along, then Kishkinda Khan, where Sugriv and Valis, mainly these two characters and all the monkeys around them. And then Sundar Khan is mainly for Hanumanji. So we managed to cover these three. Tomorrow we will do Yuddha Kand, or what we could say the war, or the Lanka Kand, because it all happens in Lanka. Everyone is going to cross the river or the ocean and going to go to the Lanka. And then Uttarakhand, as I said, is there is always a dilemma whether Uttarakhand is there in the Valmiki's Ramayana or not. Some says no, some says yes, but we could very briefly cover it. Otherwise, Yuddhakand seems to be the very consistent one. So tomorrow we will quickly cover Yuddhakand, and then we will see the lessons learned from the characters of Ramayana, mainly Lord Rama, but many other characters as well. So thank you so much for your presence and your association, giving me the opportunity to serve you. If you have any question, then feel free to let me know. And thank you so much, Avni. You're right. Vaikunt is where Vishnu Bhagavan lives, resides. That's right. Yes. Haribol. Go Golok Dham, where Krishna is. Vaikunt is where Vishnu is. And yes, very nice. Thank you so much. All right. So I guess we are good to go. Thank you so much for your presence, your association, and look forward to see you tomorrow at the same time. Now, tomorrow, Sunday, is also kids class, but we will merge these two together. So we'll start 5:30, and we will see if we could finish 6:30. Otherwise, we might stretch to 7, because we usually have 6 to 7 class for kids anyways. So maybe from 5:30 to 7 we will have tomorrow, or we will try to finish 6:30. We will see how it goes. Okay. All right. Hare Krishna, everyone.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare.
Just a quick question. There's a program in the manor. I don't know if you're aware, from 3 to 7.
Yes.
Oh, okay. That's okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, there is one. Yeah. So, but 7, Mataji, if we will start at 7, then it will be a bit too late for the kids because it's a bedtime.
Yes, I understand.
Yes. Yeah.
Horrible.
So,
okay.
All right. But this session is going to get recorded. Now the manor session, I will say the devotees who at manor, there are much more. So if you need to choose one of those two, please choose the manor program, because I'm not as significant as them. Well, the devotees there. And the second thing is that I'm going to record my session, so you could always come back and have a recap there.
Okay. Thank you very much, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Bhaktivinoda ki jai. Thank you, everyone, and have a great evening. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.